Death, the great unknown, the final level, the ultimate boss fight. But what really happens when we die? Do we respawn? Do we unlock New Game Plus? Or do we just switch off like an old Nokia phone? Let's explore the science, religion, and philosophy behind death. And of course, I'll sprinkle in some dark humor to keep things lively. Too soon? All right, let's start with one of the most well-known perspectives, Christianity. According to Christian beliefs, your soul faces judgment, and there are three main destinations: heaven, eternal paradise, streets of gold, and an infinite supply of peace and joy. Imagine the best VIP club, but forever. Hell, eternal suffering, fire, brimstone, and regret. If you messed up in life, this is where you get a really long time out. Purgatory, a sort of divine waiting room where souls get purified before making their way to heaven. The big question is, what gets you into heaven or hell? Well, that depends on faith, good deeds, and sometimes divine mercy. Some Christians believe in a judgment day where all souls will be judged at once. Others believe you get judged right after you die, like an instant results exam, but way more important. Now, if you ask Hindus and Buddhists, death isn't the end, it's a cycle. According to them, when you die, you get reincarnated based on your karma. It's like a cosmic grade report that determines your next life. Do good deeds, you level up and might be reborn into a better life. Live a selfish or cruel life, you might come back as a dung beetle. Reach enlightenment, you break the cycle and achieve moksha or nirvana, which means no more respawning. But it's not just Eastern religions. Many ancient cultures, like the ancient Egyptians and some indigenous tribes, also believed in some form of reincarnation. Some even think that deja vu could be memories from past lives sneaking in. Now let's get to the cold, hard scientific perspective. If you ask most scientists and atheists, the answer to what happens after death is nothing. The brain shuts down. Consciousness is tied to the brain, and when the brain stops working, so do you. No awareness. It's like going under anesthesia or before you were born. No thoughts, no feelings, just nothing. Matter recycles. Your body decomposes, becoming part of the ecosystem. Dust to dust, ashes to ashes, and all that poetic stuff. While this might sound bleak, some find comfort in it. After all, if there's nothing after death, then there's nothing to worry about. Now let's get weird. What if death isn't real? What if we're living in a simulation? Some scientists and philosophers like Elon Musk and Nick Bostrom believe it's possible that we're inside a giant, super advanced computer program. And what happens when we die in a simulation? Respawn in another reality. Maybe when we die, we just wake up in the real world, like logging off from a game. Game over. Our consciousness ceases, and some cosmic gamer gets a game over screen. Reboot. Maybe we relive the same life over and over, like a never-ending loop. The real question is, if this is a simulation, who's running it? And more importantly, how do we get cheat codes? So what really happens after death? We don't know, but here's the good news. If there's an afterlife, awesome. If there's nothing, well, you won't even know. If you reincarnate, hopefully not as a mosquito. If you become a ghost, at least you can still watch Netflix. If we're in a simulation, maybe someone will hit the reset button. All we can do is make the most of the time we have, love the people around us, and maybe, just maybe, leave behind something cool like this video. Smash that like button. What do you think happens after we die? Let me know in the comments.